Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. When we last left off... Oh boy. Okay, so it turns out that we are not in a parallel dimension. We are not in a galaxy far, far away. But that portal has sent us 65 million years into the past, in the age of the dinosaurs. And apparently what happened is there was an accidental time traveler who wound up stranded in the past, and he decided to spend his free time, genetically modifying dinosaurs into dragons, and that is why we have a dragon civilization here. The bad news is, you know about that asteroid that kills the dinosaurs? That has not happened yet. In fact, we are a very short time away from that happening. So it is now my job to help save the world. And to do that, I really need to find Reza, because Reza is unknowingly hoarding the equipment that we need in order to save the world. And I am legitimately feeling the pressure. My victory is not predetermined like it is in other video games. This is a visual novel. I could actually lose. I really don't want to lose. Okay. Seems there's nothing for me to do this morning. I guess they don't need me at the police department. Not that I mind. Seems I've got some messages. Let's see. Hey, it's me. Do you want to meet up again? I know you're busy, but the summer festival is coming up soon. I'm not saying we should go, but we certainly could if you want to. In any case, call me back when you hear this. Regardless of anything, I still want to meet up with Lorem. I just hope he doesn't die. Hey! Hey, Lorem. So this is where you live. Yeah, you've delivered mail here before. You already got a glimpse when you delivered Reza's letter, remember? Yeah, but back then, I didn't really notice anything. I was nervous. Aww. Why were you nervous? Well, there was the fact that I was going to speak to a human. Plus, I didn't know if you'd actually listen to what I had to say. And then I also wondered if I was going to remember everything I wanted to tell you, or worse, if I get thrown out again like when I talked to Reza. You actually talked to Reza? Well, not really. He just took the letter I had for him and closed the door. But that was before you arrived here. You know, we still don't know why Reza freaked out and all that other stuff. I wonder what was that letter you gave him. Do you know who sent the letter? It came through the portal, so I assume it was from a human. I see. Come to think of it, we never went to investigate Reza's home. I wonder if we could have found that letter. By the way, did you hear about Ipsum? Apparently he's become a witness for a murder case. Oh, I heard about that. Didn't know the witness was Ipsum, though. Small world. Kind of feeling like I should have gone to see him. How could you know about something like that? I've been helping your police for some time now. Really? Oh, does that mean this has something to do with Reza's disappearance? There's really no use denying it by this point. How long have you been helping the police anyway? Since the day of my arrival, really. Oh, wow. I guess that explains why you've been so busy. I imagine you can't talk about it, though. I don't really care anymore. Besides, I think it has become common knowledge by this point. You're trying to find Riza, right? Wasn't he your friend? Not sure I'd call him that. Still, he was supposed to be your partner in this, and now he's just gone. I'm more worried about what he's doing now. Even if we find him, this may put our diplomatic relationship in peril. Not to mention the whole end of the world situation. I guess I shouldn't talk about stuff like that. Why not? It's no use worrying about things that I can't change. I mean, I certainly like to change these things. Right. Just focus on the things you can. That's my philosophy. You know, it's a bit of a shame you didn't want to go to the festival. Wait, I didn't? I already had my fair share of adventure the last time we met. Besides, I should probably lay low for now. You're right. The crowds would probably go crazy if they saw you. Maybe if we survive this ordeal, then I could go hang out with all the dragons. We could still watch the big fireworks show together, though. We wouldn't even need to go to the festival grounds to do that. Sure, if you like. It only takes place at the end of the festival, though. When's that? Although I can probably guess. A few days from now. Okay, I was thinking like a few weeks. I bet you, though, that the end of the festival is going to be really important. Something tells me I'm going to really want to try to figure out what Riza is up to before then. You've been here a few minutes and already want to schedule our next get-together. Get-together. That's an odd way of phrasing it. Would you prefer if I called it a date? I don't know. It just seems a bit odd to me, considering this all started with me begging you to meet me so I could draw pictures of you. We did that, and then we went treasure hunting, which is your way of saying thanks. What would you call what we are doing here now, then? Dinner. I invited you for dinner. I'm not saying anything to eat here, though. Right. That's because I wasn't sure about what's in the kitchen. I also don't know what you like, so let's just order something. There are a few places nearby. Do you have anything in mind? I'm not really in the mood to try something new. Sure. How about pizza? Sounds good. Alright. Let's just call Pentoli's then. They already let us down with a treasure hunt. Why do you think this will be different? They're the closest, and I haven't ordered from them in ages. Maybe for good reason. If they can't even get the treasure hunt right, I don't want to know what they do to their pizzas. And to be fair, they kinda had their treasure hunt right. We were just a little late. It's just a pizza, Erika. How bad could it be? Alright, if you want to vouch for Pentoli's, go ahead. Actually, I think I got one of their menus here. Yep, here it is. Let's see. Even their smallest pizza is going to be pretty big for me. We could share one. Sure. What toppings would you like? I think I'll go with salad. As a topping? Okay, how do I want to handle this? Because when it comes to pizzas, I definitely like to experiment. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Like one time I decided to try bacon and apple. That sounded like a wonderful combination. But the bacon kind of overpowered the apple. But this would be... Actually, it pretty much was my reaction. Because, sure, I'd be willing to experiment, but that came across me real surprising. Don't knock it before you try it. Next, you're going to tell me that you eat pizza with a knife and fork. Not really. Do I want to back up and try that option again? I feel almost rude. Alright, what would you like on your half? You know what? No. I'm gonna try it. Really? Alright. I'll just place the order then. Go ahead. I'll get it. Lorem got up and walked to the door. From my place on the couch, I couldn't see anything, but I heard a bit of talking before he returned to me carrying the square box. I swear, this box contains a special message for me. The flyer who just delivered this, I actually know her. I guess it's not unusual for you to know each other. Your jobs are pretty similar. I suppose some things never change in this town. Lorem opened the box and showed me the pizza we had ordered. Memories of days gone by raced through my head. Alright, let's get this party started. Don't we need more people for our party? With pizza, anything's a party. I feel like I haven't had a pizza like this in ages. Dang COVID. What are you waiting for, then? I took one of the slices. On its surface, there was an obvious layer of grease that was sure to stain anything it came in contact with. And normally I just blot that up with a paper towel. What do you think? It's been way too long. Guess you don't mind that we got pantolis now, huh? With these words, he grabbed one of the slices on his half and bit into it. He's got a muzzle, but he's also small. Do you think he takes bigger bites than a human, or maybe same size, or even smaller? After chewing a few times, his expression suddenly twisted into a scowl. Is something wrong? Now I remember why I haven't ordered from Pantoli's in a while. Their pizza sucks. It's not that bad. Maybe you just haven't had a good pizza to compare it to. Hey, it's still better than nothing. I suppose. By the way, how's your game coming along? I don't know. I feel like I've hit a wall. Why is that? Maybe I got in over my head, you know? The more progress I make, the more it becomes apparent that I'll need a lot more help than I thought. So far, you're the only one who's been working on this, right? Yep, but I'm starting to realize that it won't work out if I continue like this. Why not? It would never be done. Or if it was, it would be very different from what I'd like it to be, so something needs to change. I suppose I'm just worried, because once you start involving other people, things get a lot more complicated. How so? I've always been the odd one out, so I'm not sure how well I could work with a team. You have to find people, work out how to pay them, and how to divide the work. I guess I'm just starting to realize what kind of investment this would actually be. I feel like this is the game developer writing their own experiences. You sounded a lot more optimistic last time we talked about this. Yeah, it's all fun and games when you're just thinking about ideas that you could turn into a game, but once you actually start working on it, it's a completely different story. Yeah, actually, thinking up ideas is probably the easiest part. I would know I have an entire game idea in my head, but never got very far in it. At some point, it just becomes another job. Isn't that what you expected? Of course it is. I knew it would be a lot of work, but I guess I'm just not sure if it's all worth it. That depends on why you're making it in the first place. Last time you said that you had nothing to lose either way. Well, maybe I was wrong about that. I do have something to lose. What's that? Myself. I'm not sure if I'm ready to do what is necessary to finish what I started. If you think about it, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, I can answer that. Nobody playing your game. If I were to actually finish making a game, I'd want to see people enjoy it. It's not really worth it if nobody enjoys it. Investing a lot of time and money only to end up with nothing in the end. I could end up disappointing those who play the game, those who collaborated with me, and lastly, myself. That's what you're worried about? That's what being a creator is like. If you put tons of work and effort into something, you want people to like it, right? If that's not what's going to happen, why do it in the first place? Honestly, that is definitely a hard question to answer. At the time of this recording, my YouTube channel is kind of failing. There's still the hope, though, eventually my channel will take off. But my last playthrough that I posted had 0 comments in 30 videos. I'm kind of bummed about it. Anyway, but you're not doing this for other people, are you? It's your game and your idea, after all. Right, but you're not trying to cater to someone else, so what other people think is not important is totally not a thing I would say about this situation. Besides, what I think is outside of your control anyway. Just look at what happened with Pintolis. Why do you think their pizza sucks? They probably cut a lot of corners during production and with the ingredients. They value quantity over quality and are only trying to get as many pieces out as possible to satisfy demand. Maddie says it's pizza. Even the bad ones are kinda good. Hard disagree with that. For a long time, when I was younger, I did not like pizza, because my only experience with pizza was with the bread tangle of pizza that the school cafeteria made. It was something awful. They are cheap and the pizza tastes like it. Maddie says, okay, look, that's air quotes pizza, not pizza. I mean, kinda. Okay, but they are still in business, so this must be working out for them somehow. Even if you don't like it, they are offering something other people clearly want. They probably don't give a dang about whether or not you like their pizza. I'm sure they don't. They just give people what they want, and that's why they stay in business. Are you saying that I won't be successful if I don't cater to others? No, I'm saying that unless being successful is the goal, you don't need to cater to anyone else. That I will agree with. I mean, success is definitely nice, but even here at Twitch, I'm kind of a small-time creator, and well, I got a few people watching, hanging out in the chat, and to an extent, that's actually good enough for me, as long as I get to play the games that I want. A while back, somebody suggested that if I want to be successful, I have to try to stick with the games that are relevant, like Call of Duty, or some other game that is newly released and everybody's playing. But a lot of times I'm not really interested in what is new and relevant. And besides that, I tried that with Super Mario Maker 2 and that didn't work out, so it's not really guaranteed advice anyway. Anyway, what was I saying? Unless being successful is the goal, you don't need to cater to anyone else, because if you did, you would end up like Pentolis, and you really would lose yourself. I guess you have a point. So what if other people like their greasy pizzas? That's not what you want to do. Certainly not. You said yourself that your philosophy is to focus on the things that you can change, so what are your options here? A wise person once said, do or do not. There is no try. I personally think that advice is bogus, because you can't do unless you try. Not doing this has never been an option for me. Then you make the most of it and nothing else matters. I think you're right. I just focus on getting things as best as I can. Who knows, maybe you're wrong about Pentolis. Maybe they're actually a big family restaurant with a rich tradition and history, and that's why people like them. No, I think it's just because they have cheap pizzas. I mean, you could be right about that. Oh, I forget who makes this one pizzas, but they're called, air quotes, party pizzas. And they're like small pizzas, and they taste like cardboard. About as thin as cardboard, too. Anyway, that's a good reason for my anxiety. I usually keep to myself, and that's always how I've worked best. If there's one thing that life has taught me, is that people fear what they don't know. I guess that's an odd thing to say when humans are worshipped by many. Most of them don't actually know any humans. Not like I know you. Maybe I should rephrase that. People are afraid of what they don't understand. I was bullied a lot when I was a kid. Oh crap, you guys have bullies too? You know, it can be pretty tough when you're growing up and all the other kids are always bigger than you are. Luckily, that was never a big problem for me. Even in kindergarten, we get told not to make fun of our differences because of how different our species are. It's just odd that for a society that celebrates our differences, there are still things that are too different even for them. I can definitely relate to that. It makes no sense to me that there can be racists in the furry fandom. When I grew up and went to college, I thought that people would know better than to continue doing those horrible things, but I was ultimately proven wrong. Oh, so relatable. Oh boy, this one job I had was awful. Their bodies may have been those of adults, but their hearts had stayed in the same place they were a decade before. Working on my own has helped, but it is treating the symptom, not the cause of the problem. I can't always just run away, and I'll have to step into the limelight and brave the storm again if I want to finish this game. There's something about me that you don't know. In a way, I owe it to you to tell you, because you're going to find out sooner or later anyway, and when it happens, it should be on my terms rather than someone else's. What is it? I'm a hermaphrodite. Huh. Didn't see that coming. I was born with both sets of sex organs. And before you ask, that is not something that is at all common in any of our dragon species. In the eyes of some, that makes me a freak of nature, something that needs fixing or shouldn't exist in the first place. Oh wow. You really have the option to be mean in this game sometimes. I don't mind. You don't? Sure, some people may think that it's odd, but I don't really care. I mean, after all, I'm in the furry fandom. It's just another part of who you are. Thank you. Though I am curious, what pronoun do you prefer? That's such a big relief. You know, it's not always the bullies who go after me once they know. Too often, it's also been people who I thought were my friends. So, whenever I meet another person, I have to prepare myself for this conversation, not knowing whether they will suddenly turn against me when they find out. And the reactions can be very different. Some get angry or make fun of me, others feel betrayed and don't want to have anything to do with me anymore. By now, I think I've seen it all. I'm so glad that you're not like them, but it's always a gamble. Maybe the next person I tell is going to become violent. How can I put myself out there when this could happen wherever I go? You know what I mean? What will people do when they find out about me and my game? I just don't know. That's what I'm worried about. I only wish there was a place where I could be safe from all of that, where it just wouldn't matter that this is who I am. Hey there, Lit! Thank you for the resub. That is awesome of you. We are currently in a heart-to-heart moment with Lorem here, who we just found out is a hermaphrodite. I assume he prefers male pronouns because that is what we've been using the entire time. If someone like you, someone with a place of authority, said something, maybe that could change things. I know you can't interfere with our politics, though. You're an ambassador. Doesn't mean I don't have hope that something like that will happen one day. I should probably go now. It's getting late. You've made me feel a lot better, though. You told me not to worry about the future, and maybe you're right. Sure, there's still a lot of work ahead, but maybe it's not as hopeless as I thought. It never is. Hey, do you still want to see the fireworks show together? Sure. Maddie says, Lorem, you stay here, we're snuggling. I so wish that were an option. Alright, just give me a call in a few days so we can discuss the details. I'll do that. Alright, I'll see ya then. See ya! Another free day. Yay me! Okay, Remy, Anna, order some lunch. I'm hesitant to go meet with Anna anymore. Her thievery is just a little bit off-putting. You know what? I'm gonna order some lunch. I remembered that Adine had told me that the cafe did deliveries as well, and not to have anything else better to do, I figured I should try it out. I made my order with a quick phone call, and it wasn't long before the doorbell rang. Well, that was quick. It just so happened that Adine herself stood in the doorway, dripping wet and with damp containers in her grip. Aww. I didn't know it was raining. Oh, it's you. I thought they sent you away after everything that's going on. They changed their minds, so I suppose you'll be stuck with me for a little while longer. Oh boy. If I had chosen to be going with a relationship with her, she would have been so happy to see me still here. Either that or really angry to make her get put through that. I see. Here's your order. Sorry it got a little wet, but it should still be okay. You're soaked. Why don't you come in? Thanks. I was just about to ask you if I could stay for a little while. This was actually my last delivery for the day, and I live on the other side of town. Of course, I couldn't let you fly back when it's this ugly outside. Feel right at home. I better eat this before it gets cold. I sat down at the table and started eating my food while Adine decided to take a seat opposite of myself. Do you like it? Yeah, I ordered something I knew I'd actually like this time. I didn't want to make the same mistake I did earlier today. I feel like some of these conversations, these quote-unquote first dates situations, are assuming that we're back in day one. Do you have something similar where you come from? We do. As a matter of fact, it's almost scary how close it is to what we have back home. Really? Maybe we all just share a similar taste. I mean, it's entirely possible. We now know why the dragon world is so similar to the human world. It's because when the administrator genetically created all these dragons, he kind of gave them... oh, how to word this? Human faithfulness and traditionalisting? Something like that? I had an idea of how to re-explain the situation whenever I started this stream, but at this point I forget what it was. But dragons were created like bioweapons of sorts, or using programming of bioweaponry, except in this case to create a civilization. But they're loyal to the human ways. Because you wouldn't want your bioweapons turning against yourself. Maybe there's more to it than that. What do you mean? Well, don't you trace your origins back to humans in some way? I know what kind of reputation we have in your culture. That is true. Let me ask you this. Where do you think the portal you found came from? Who built it? Humans did it, of course. Exactly. If you believe humans had something to do with an artifact created who knows how many years ago, it wouldn't be a stretch to think they could also have influenced you in other ways. Even something as simple as this dish? I like that idea. So, what do you do when you aren't working in the restaurant? Do you have a family? Well, most of the time I take care of my kids. Oh, nice. How many children do you have? They aren't really my children per se. I just take care of them. You are more of a foster parent, then? Not quite. These are orphaned children I'm talking about. I just volunteered to spend some time with them, so I'm really more of a babysitter and teacher all in one. Oof. And the orphanage was recently attacked. Well, hatchery was attacked, but if I remember correctly, the hatchery is part orphanage. I can't really take them in and care for them 24/7 like a proper parent would. I'd love to, but I work far too much to be a single parent. With the amount of time I spend at the restaurant, I don't think the kids would be any better off, so I just help out whenever I can. That's not very nice of you. Thanks. These kids already didn't get a very good hand in life. I just thought if I can make even a small difference for them, it'd be worth it. I see. What about hobbies? Do you have any? Can I ask a question for a change? No. Well, can you? No, sure, go ahead. Well, I don't really know much about you. Actually, I'm not sure if there is anyone here who does. What would you like to know? What did you do before you came here? Avoid the question by making a bad pun. I'm kind of curious what the pun is. Well, my options are don't tell, and don't tell. So, screw it. I'm going with a pun. None? None? What do you mean? Good question. What do I mean? I mean that is none of your business. I should have saved before answering that. Okay, let's go through this again. I'll stick with the options I chose before. I can't remember. Were there any other options after we got our pizza? Alright, there's a fast forward button. Oh, that is really helpful. Sorry for fast forwarding you. It kind of reminds me of a movie that I once saw, or maybe a TV show, where these two guys got this remote that could fast forward people. I don't remember much about it, but I remember towards the end, the remote got knocked out of one guy's hands, and then this angry girl who thought that he was ignoring her kept throwing it at the wall and resetting time over and over. Seriously, you need a hug. Maybe there's more to it than that. Sure, go ahead. What did you do before you came here? I saved, so that I can't get stuck with the answer that I was not intending again. Honestly, nothing special. Nothing special, really. I mean, I have my degrees, but this is the first time I did something that was actually related to them. The work I did previously was just to keep afloat. I know what you mean. I suppose it's my turn again, so tell me about your hobbies. The one I enjoy most is probably flying. Just flying? Well, not just flying. I do aerobatics, or stunt flying. I've been doing that on and off for a couple of years now. Oh boy. Imagine if humans had wings. There's already people who do amazing parkour. Imagine if they had wings. Actually, I can imagine it pretty well. We'd probably have a bunch of rainbow dashes out there. What was I saying? Stunt flying? Right, let's see here. What's that? Is the practice of doing flying maneuvers like rolls, spins, or loops? I'm actually hoping to be part of a competition in some time. Awesome! Where can I watch that? I suppose that depends on whether you will still be here when it takes place. It's part of a festival we hold in this town every year. I assume separately from the fireworks. That would not be a good mix. Okay, since it is my turn again, well... This might be an unusual question, so... When they said it was a human that would be coming here, I kinda expected something a little different. I know. Hermie told me about some of the commonly held beliefs here. I mean, yeah, you do look different from us, but you're not really anything like some of the things that have been said about your kind. I could say the same thing about you. Really? Yeah, we have plenty of myths about dragons. Like what? I mean, let's be real here. I mean, yeah, I could be nice. Oh gosh, what do I choose? I could go with the honest answer? Or I could be, like, too many to list. Yeah, I've been waiting for a chance to actually tell somebody about this one. I'm telling it. Well, according to some, you are greedy, man-eating monsters, and also sometimes associated with evil and the apocalypse. Well, that's not very nice. Though, to be fair, some of what we have about you isn't very nice either. I guarantee what you have heard is probably true. Phew, good to know you aren't vicious monsters then. Oh, we can be vicious if we want to be. We just usually know better. I can imagine, though, there must be a reason you have a police force. Well, no matter what you might think about humans, I can assure you that I am in no way special or supernatural. I disagree with that. Why? You say that you aren't special, but just the fact that you're here with us right now is quite special to me and many others. Just try to see it the other way around. You know, you have a good point. What were you thinking when you first heard about us? Honestly, I thought it was awesome. I thought making a discovery like this was just awesome. Many people would love to have the opportunity I had by coming here. See, it's not so one-sided after all, so don't be surprised if some of us feel the same way. And it's not just the discovery of you dragons. We found a portal to an entirely different world. We still haven't figured that one out. Neither have we. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Shifty eyes. By the way, interesting selection of books you have there. Draconic Desire. Ixomin Sphere. Are these yours? No, they were already here when I moved in. Have you read any of them? I did read Sheridan and the Scepter of Sovereignty. How did you like it? Honestly, the book seemed like it was pretty fun. I see. Oh, you've got Price and Prayer. You should totally read that one. You think so? Why's that? It's not just an interesting story, it's based on true events. The author is so right when he says there's a lot we can learn from what happened back then. I'll check it out when I have the time. Let me know when you do. I'd be interested in hearing what you have to say about it. I wonder if we'll actually get that chance. Alright, since you asked about my family earlier, I'm going to do the same thing. Is there a Mr. or Mrs. Erika back home waiting for you? No, can't say there is. How about a potential Mr. or Mrs. Erika, then? Are you looking to date anyone? Maybe. Come on, tell me. Back up. Hold on a sec. I lost track of what we were talking about. Mr. and Mrs. Erika back home. So the answer is actually no. Oh boy, we had a lot of questions. Thought it was awesome. Loved it. Check it out when I have the time. Okay, here's the question. Do I have a special someone back home? Not really. I see. Anyone on your radar then? Someone you think is attractive? Are we still talking about back home or here? Well, there's someone. Actually, I'll save again, just in case. Oh, no, that's still talking about back home. Not really. No one at all? I don't believe you. I think you just don't want to tell me. So, who is the lucky person? I'm not sure how many questions that was, but I'm sure it's not your turn anymore. Are we even still playing this game? Well, you started it. That's true. You seem to be enjoying it, though. You know, why don't we make this a little more interesting while we're at it? Are we about to have another minigame sort of thing? What do you suggest? Truth or dare? Oh, that's gonna be fun. What's that? We continue asking questions, but if one of us doesn't want to answer the question, we have to do something the other person tells us to. I don't even know what kind of dare would make you do. It could be something that would make me uncomfortable, or something you'd like to see me do. Anything? Well, keep in mind that revenge might be coming quicker than you think, so don't ask someone for anything you wouldn't do yourself. Got it. So who's first? You asked the last few questions, so it's only fair if I start. Alright. What part of your body is the most ticklish? Okay. What is your most guarded secret? What's the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you? No, we're going with the ticklish option. Probably my sides. Good to know. You wouldn't misuse that knowledge, would you? Well, not if you're gonna frown at me like that. Of course not. Apparently, people in the chat would definitely be willing to misuse that knowledge. Since it is my turn now, what is your greatest wish? I was hoping become a dragon would be an option. This has gotta be a Pokemon reference. Let me think here. Greatest wish. You know what? I might go with it. I mean, I would definitely like to be the best Nidoran like no one ever was. Come to think of it, I'm not sure I really got that opportunity. Pokemon Silver randomized, I evolved. At Pokemon Yellow, I kind of failed at being the best. Pokemon Let's Go and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, that was Princess. So, yeah, this is still a wish. Haven't done it yet. That seems to be a very personal wish, Erika. Okay, my turn. What would you do if you were invisible for a day? Invisible, huh? That's a hard one. I mean, no one would see my flying then, and I do want people to see that. Well, this question is more about what you would do if you had the opportunity to do something without getting caught, like something mischievous or criminal. Oh, I know what I would do. I'd check out the building they found along with the portal. What building? Didn't you hear about that? They found a whole building along with the portal. It's actually underground, and they have it heavily guarded while a team of archaeologists works on it. I think it might contain many secrets and answers about the portal and where it came from. Interesting. I think I'd like to check that as well. I'm just going to assume that I'm playing dumb. If you knew the world was about to end, what would you do? Enjoy life to the fullest, say my last goodbyes and hope for the best. Stay outside and watch it all unfold before my eyes. Hide in a bunker deep underground. No option to save the world. Oh boy, imagine if this was actually before we knew that the world was actually ending. There would certainly be some foreshadowing. V4 says, might want to keep that in mind. Keep what in mind? The place? The laboratory that was ancient? So I would probably say my last goodbyes and hope for the best. An optimist until the very end. I like that. Well, I mean, if there was an option to just curl into a fetal position and cry, I would probably have chosen that. I mean, I'd almost hate to keep choosing the first option because it's kind of redundant, but honestly, it's the first options that are interesting me the most. If you could come back with me to my world right now, would you do it? It's a very difficult question, you know. Of course I'd love to visit, maybe as some sort of vacation, but if you're talking about permanently, I'm not sure if I could just pack up and leave everything behind just like that. Yeah, from what I understand, you wouldn't like our world anyway. It's kind of in ruins and stuff. Alright, so from those you have met here so far, who is the one you fancy most? I think I'll take a dare for this one. Aw, oh, come on, I was actually going to answer Lorem. Oh, finally. What am I going to have you do? Whatever you like. No, I honestly have no idea. Take your time. Alright, let me think for a minute. Oh, looks like it's getting late. Wait, what time is it? Oops, seems like I've been here longer than I thought. I should probably be going now. Seems like the rain has stopped too. Yeah, that's great. You know, if you want me to come over again, you don't have to order anything to do it. Here's my private number. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. Bye! Okay, new chapter time. Chapter 5, Conflict. And there's a dead body on the ground. Yeah, it is time for more unfortunateness. We'll do that after this break.